as I promised, I will do this video in English. I just popped the hood on this battery. We're cleared about the front and the rear side because already made some videos about all these relays here, and you can see that in my old videos. Right now we're talking about the cells. I will change the cells. As I saw on one of the bigger batteries from EVs bigger than the Twizy, they have a cartridge, humidity cartridge that you have to change every once in a while. So I use that technique for my regenerated batteries. I use this stuff right here. So every time I change the relays and the cells on a battery, I also use these cartridges right here. I put them inside so we can keep our cells nice and smooth without water inside. Of course, if the water goes in big quantities, that's another story. You might use some silicone oil on this rubber band that you see right here. That will help you to keep water out when you will close the battery. If you can get yourself a new one, that's much better. If not, I suggest you use some silicone oil, this thing right here. And now we will talk a little about our cells. As you can see, I have these blocks right here. They're something like 90% of state of health, so they're much better than the ones are inside here. I will use the tester to make you understand a few things about this battery. So these are the famous LG LX3. As you can see, every block holds 6 cells. They're rated 3.7 volts, 14 amps. I will measure one to see the state of charge we have right now. So instead of 3.7, we have 3.55 volts. So we will have a 7.10 on all of this. Okay, as you can see, we have a 7.10 right here. Why? I will explain. Because the free from your left side, the free ones right here, they're parallel together, and then you have the series with the other free right here. So we have a total of 7.10. Now we will talk about measures, about the size of this. Okay, so let's talk about sizes. This is the LG XL3. We have 117 millimeters high. Every single module has 12.5 millimeters. As you can see right here, I have a 25 millimeters wide because there are 2 cells, so divide that by 2. They're long something like 290. You have 29 centimeters right there. As I was telling you first, they're rated 3.7 volts, 14 amps. We have 1, 2, 3 that are parallel together. And these 3, the first 3 with the other 3, they're in series. We already saw we have 7.10 combined with a 3.55 on every cell. Okay. That's because they're not fully charged. I have about 91% of state of health in here, much better than the ones I have here. Right now we will talk about the case, because someone asked me if I can tell him the exact size. He also asked if I could do the video in English. That's why I'm doing my best, but slowly I'm forgetting this language because I use it very little lately. So let's see the sizes of the case. We have the idea is this: if you want to keep the original steel plates, that's one question. That's another question, because if you want to redo the whole system, you could get more space. From what I know, you can get in here the 18615 cells, the classic Tesla cells. If you use those, you could get 12 kilowatts in here. That's double the kilowatts we have in this moment right here. And if you keep the original system and use something like a virtual BMS, then your measures are this: you will have 56.5 centimeters. Okay, keeping the original plates, as I was telling you first. Wide, it's about 32.5, and the high, it's something like I would say something like 119 millimeters. So that's the space you can get with the original plates. If you take those out, I think you could get some more cells in here, but the BMS has to be something more little than this. And the relays also, you should use less technology relays, because as you can see here, we have the high voltage relay. It's big. I will pass the video in mute, so I will leave you to the images, but I will explain what I'm doing. The first thing I will do is take out those plastic caps right here, those plastic bars, so I can get to the steel bars that are holding together our cells. As you can see, they pass from one to another. After taking those out, the battery is harmless, because you will have the single packs, and you already saw we're talking about something like 7 volts on each one, so there's no danger there. After I will open this plate right here, this steel plate, you will see that this will expand, because it's normal. The old cells do that because they're wider. They're much wider than the new ones. So if you have new ones, it's much better. But with the used one, I will use some pressure. You will see my procedure to get this back in. And after, I will close the plate and everything will be put back together. We have these steel plates right here that also gives them stability, I should say, in the higher part right here. And that's about all. I will try to take all out from this side, from the BMS side, so I will also take out the BMS. There is something you should know about the BMS. The original BMS has stored state of health, and it will remain the same state of health even even if you put new cells in. It's not like you have an update or it's updating or something. The problem with the BMS is that it only goes higher, just like the odometer. So in this case it goes lower. So if we have something like 60% state of health, even if I use the cells, these cells are something like 90% state of health, so the BMS will not show the true on that thing. That's something you should know, because sometimes you could buy a car that has the old BMS, new cells, so that will be decided by the real autonomy. So you will have to take the car on the street, drive it yourself, and see how much miles you get out of the car, and that will tell you the truth about the battery. So for the moment I will leave you with the images. Let's do this.